Hey, what's going on, people?
Hello, world.
We are here.
Pack is here.
We are live.
Oh my god, it's 9 o'clock even too. This is cool.
Welcome to Paper Planes and More. Starring your
Yeah,
host,
buddy.
Sil,
W
Nass Aero Systems. Wah, wah, wah. We are here
with the live show.
with the little live, look alive, get alive, stay alive.
With the little live. With the little live. Uh. Uh. Chat rant about all you want to talk about during the week of whatever happened. Even though we
I
had a
don't know
show
if we want to do
yesterday.
that. It might get too political in here. Might offend some people. Because right now I can't afford it with the gas price being so high.
And just oh man, that's not what I did, dude. Lights.
Yeah,
Ah.
so we're
Ah.
gonna we're gonna avoid those topics a little bit, and
I
then
just. I just want to say. I just want to say right now. You can fly
vote for me.
from You can fly from Madison to Warsaw for only $600. Um, now might be a good time to be going in case y'all want to get your war on. Believe me, I've been looking into some flights because, man, if you ever want to just like get on out there and just kill people for no apparent reason and just to kill people,
And with the bounty on his head like that, I mean, I think I might,
I'm
you
telling you,
know,
man, like it's like
I'm thinking about going to make some
it can
money.
happen. It can happen. It can happen. It's too easy. It's like I don't mean like let's just go, but I mean if you feel the need that you might want to just go over and help defend the Ukraine, which means of course you get to fire some guns and quite possibly climb into a tank. You ever want to know about a tank?
and, and you don't have to pay taxes on any Russian tanks.
And I mean, also if you fly from Chicago to Warsaw, I figure Warsaw is a good place because biggest international airport that's closest to the battle action. I mean, you might want to go into Romania, so you can go to Ploesti maybe or something like that, or Bucharest. But Warsaw, $500 from O'Hare. I mean, I'm telling you, man, just keep it
Do
seven
you
hundred
even need
fifty
a
to
passport at
Bucharest.
this point? I think they'd probably just let you go.
I'm telling you, man, like if they told you what you were doing, there's probably a lot of them just say, "Go right ahead, sir. We'll hear about you in the news next week."
Either dead or
Yeah, dude.
alive. Dead or alive, we gonna hear about you.
It's just a good time. I mean, it's not a good time for them. I'm trying not to make light of the situation, but I am saying I am keeping track of some plane tickets because I've always wanted to see that part of Europe. So you know, come on, Ukraine, stay strong. We're with you. We're with you as we can be. Just
As
just
we can.
hold on, hold off those nasty Russians for a little while longer. And again, I'm using the term loosely. It's not like all Russians are nasty. I just mean the particularly nasty ones that are causing these problems.
The particular nasty one.
The particular nasty one, nasty one, his
That has a
nasties that are
bounty on his
following
head.
along.
That is playing a game of Risk over here. And I ain't talking about, he's just risking his life. No, he's actually trying to play a board game of Risk, try to take over shit. And he don't know who he fucking with.
He's having a severe crisis over there.
I
I
think he's
mean,
going through a midlife crisis, like a late midlife
it
crisis.
sounds like you make it sound like he's having a double. Like it's bad both ways.
Well, it probably is, but
It probably feels like it for damn sure. It's like,
like
what the
I
hell
want
are
to
you
own another
thinking?
country.
Like,
Like
you just can't take all of them, fool.
like one is not
I mean,
enough.
one is not. I'm guessing a guy like him, one is never enough.
But that's the same with
So
all dictators like that. Like one is never enough.
yeah, and which is why you got to stop him because you don't know when it's going to stop. It's just going to be that way
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
So
Next thing you know, they take it over the entire East Coast. And you're like, what?
West Coast, East
West
Coast,
Coast,
all
West.
coast. Hey, check it out! I sent it to you. What do you think it is?
Oh,
I just sent it to you.
hold up.
What's going on in the background, people? What's going on in the background?
Yeah, it's in the background. In the background is what we do in the background. Oh yeah. Is that like the thumbnail?
Yeah, I've been playing with them. I've been playing with them. I got to get the
Yeah,
TikTok.
that one's cool. I mean, I still like the other one too, though.
I know, I do too. I just the only thing I didn't like about it was the yellow. I just didn't like the yellow. The yellow doesn't fit our scheme, and it's like that's the only one that works to make it stand out. But when you have a brighter background like that, most colors stand out. So,
Yep.
and
Yeah, we
that's what I
can.
was trying to do. Is like, well, if you got a postage stamp size screen you're looking at, or a big screen, and you look. By the way, our videos look really cool on a big screen. I was casting one the other day. And I'm like, wow, that's hype. I really am aggravated with how our captioning turns out now, because sometimes some of this shit. Let me try that. Doesn't come through in the captioning, and I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yep.
Like, I don't have like I said, it's not made for kids, and my TV's not got parental controls on it. So what gives? Why is it not there? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, all I'm doing is just playing around with some of these wild card, just these features here. That's all. So people like we don't want you to get bored. I'm not going to try to like keep showing you the same thumbnails over and over. Hopefully, I mean, university or like familiarity is cool. So you get used to seeing. It's why when you walk into Walmart, they try to make it look like you're walking into every Walmart everywhere, but it also gets boring. So I'm trying to flip through some cool screens we could use like maybe once every other month or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Once
So
every 30, 60, 90 days, that kind of thing.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
something so we're not just stuck on the same thing. I mean, because like well, before we were all over the place. I had to try to find pictures for every feature, and now I'm very seriously considering going back through and putting that thumbnail for every one of them. But then it'd be like, wow, dude, every one. Do you think that'd be cool, or do you think it would suck?
Um, who knows? Honestly. Um,
It's a tough call, isn't it? I mean,
I would stick with the way it is, and then I mean, it's tough.
it
It's tough
is.
because
I think,
we
yeah,
could fancy it up a little bit by doing that, or we could uh, we could
by the
fancy it up a little bit by um, like a half and half feature, or you know what I'm saying, but not really like a half and half. Um, like throw like one of the planes on the like take a screenshot or something and crop it down into the rectangle and
yeah,
put it in the
okay,
corner or something like that, and then
oh yeah,
put featuring as you
right,
know
right.
because that won't have to change if if you label it as featuring, and then you could just put the thumbnail in the bottom right hand corner, and that could change every week.
I like that. That's an idea. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Because
an idea.
one
But
of the things that is featured that week, which is what most people do with theirs, and yeah, I've definitely thought we may need to do something like that, which is why one of the reasons why I had a spot like open on each one. So I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I'm kind of prepped that, so I get it. That
yep,
seems like a reasonably good idea to keep in mind for the future.
yeah. So we got that. What's going on with your design?
Yeah, sorry, kind of got a little distracted. I just want to get that out there because this the show and everything, and
It
like,
still goes along with the
so
updates. It's just a different kind of update.
different kind of update. That's true. So yeah, the design is progressing nicely. We got a couple more designs. I don't know if I can't remember if I mentioned the show yesterday or not, but Powerhouse has built a version of his and took the video for me to see it. Um, Modified it a little bit with options that I thought of, or like I thought of doing not the way he did them. He added basically a solid weight into the nose. Um, I had always thought about adding a weight or extending the nose, because like obviously when you're dealing with a shorter plane, the shorter the plane, the wider the chord, the wider the wingspan, you're going to deal with a stunter. So I was, elongate, shorten, and you work out the balance, and you figure out how kind of a glider you are. But I didn't do it and didn't really instigate it yet because, of course, I was thinking in terms of this isn't the kind of plane I wanted for a long distance. I expected it to be a stunter, I was okay with that, at least so far. Um,
Yeah, it looks
it
like
may
it
throw
should
me,
be.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But it also, like, I mean, if that's all it takes is like literally 1 extra inch, a couple extra centimeters off the front with some extra weight and not too much. But again, a plane this short, your center of gravity is more basically here, like at the trailing edge somewhere in this neighborhood. You push that up, your center of gravity moves up, and then it's right about the mid plane of where all your wing lift is. Then you're going to get a glider no matter what's back here. This is just along for the ride. So, um,
Yep.
obviously, the growth potential is there for a glide plane. I kind of like that idea because,
But you have
I
to
mean,
sit down and strategically plan those cuts then.
yes, you do. Yes, you can't. It's not. It's
Because
not as simple as just tacking that on and going, okay, here we go, we got it. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I was saying. Like unless you add something substantially heavy on the front
right.
and moving
And
that
the
and
one
making it
thing,
longer.
yeah, the one thing Powerhouse did on his, it did actually make it look like it was pretty much like that much, just basically adding that weight. Like, he calls it a, what the hell do he call it? Like a modular. Oh God, I want to say it right. He's got it in here. Um, it's like a modular weighting system, and it looks like, for lack of a better term, a paper football. I mean, if any of y'all made a paper football before, it
You,
looks, yeah,
you know what I
it's
was
pretty
just
much it.
thinking? You know how Phantom Lightning had the EXT?
Yeah.
You could do the same thing just on the front. And by that I mean take that same take like an inch and a half of wing. So you cut the shape that follows that same leading edge.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? The front one.
Yeah.
So you cut that angle, and then you have a little stem, a little bit of the fuselage come back from that, and that way you could attach it into the nose, and that way you just increased your size of the wing. But then now you can weight that front end,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's still like
That
it would be like a hybrid because you're
well,
taking
that
another sheet of.
yeah. I
I mean,
mentioned
well,
I mentioned it to him. Yeah.
kind of. I
It
mean, you could
is.
take what you cut off and then add it back to the front in that
The
aspect.
thought, I like the fact that you're going kind of where the thing was as I was going with it, because that's actually what I thought of with this was like I mentioned to him hybridizing it, and that's what I thought of like when he added the weight up there. My deal was just what you said was like Phantom Lightning EXT. I was thinking of I'd have to have. Give me this. Is this gonna work? I need a good sheet for
I was
this.
gonna
This
say,
will
do you
work.
have scraps left over?
Yes. Well, I don't have scraps left over of this because they really would be only the back. However, I was literally thinking like if you had, like you said, Phantom Lightning style is a bad example, but I'm just rough guessing. But like, I mean, it would be out the front, and I can't show you out the front because I stapled it. But like that, and then start modifying it with like the cuts up here, a little bit of the folds in here, like you were going to start a plane, but trim all that shit off, and then have it here, and then just have your fin. But it would be as long as the aircraft, longer than the aircraft, so the nose stuck out, and then there would be a tail fin. So there would be
Or
another
you wouldn't
plane
even
within a
need
plane.
to do it that way. Like you would just need just
No, you would.
basically
Yeah, you're right.
an
No, you're right. You wouldn't need to do it that way. That was my plan though. So
yeah.
I the thing is that's the point though. It's like there's so much.
I mean, yeah,
It, it,
you could stick it out the back.
oh yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm gonna stick. Like I said, this one was a bad case just because it's already been stapled, so I wouldn't have gone that route. I just can't shove it in any further. Chances
Yeah.
are it'd be more like this, but or I would cut it there, and you'd get your extra couple centimeters, inch over the front end, and it would stop there because I don't think I'd want any more off the tail end either. Maybe not.
But
Um.
yeah, I wouldn't even have it go that far back though. I would literally, like as far back as I would go is probably the middle of that wing.
Yeah, that sounds about. Yeah, no, that sounds feasible.
If you're
Okay.
gonna add
Yeah.
that in, and that way all the weight has to be in the front. Like you don't have a choice. Like it's not adding any weight behind it.
Right.
It's
Right.
adding all the weight from the CG forward. So then it's
Oh,
going to
that.
shift it. So then it's going to shift it, and it's going to shift it forward, and then it's going to give you more wingspan in the front. Especially if you make it that same angle and the same length, but just add like, and you probably just need a glue stick to kind of get them to seal together. So
Right.
that
No.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Exactly.
just kind of overlap it a little bit, or even do it like rifle and fold it. Ooh,
Just over the edge.
you may not even need to extend it
Oh, that's true. No, you're right. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
if you did it that way and just added a form of rifle in the front of it and glued it down. So obviously it doesn't create that windbreak and it's nice and smooth. If you cut a quarter-inch strip and pasted it on that leading edge, you may get the weight shift that you're looking for anyways.
See where you're. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, I'm following. All right.
So do it.
Okay. Dude, those are the potentials we're talking about. I mean, like any kind of plane has that. It's not just this one,
Well,
but
true, but that one's got that's this one's biggest issue right now is it doesn't really know what to do. It doesn't it's having a hard time trying to find its weight
yeah,
because a
yeah. I
lot of
mean,
it has been cut out and a lot of the wing has been cut out.
but well, I'll tell you, a lot of it also can be reformed. At the very start, when you play with this plane at the very start, like the one I showed you guys when you followed along to build it the first time, those first couple folds, when you went along and said like, "Oh, I'm starting a Thunderbolt here," that stuff. Um, yeah, it's like I said around an inch, somewhere in the neighborhood. If you make it instead of 3 centimeters, you make it 2 centimeters. If you don't make it an inch, you make it like 3/4 of an inch. You can actually do three folds up there instead of just two, and
Yep.
then you recover the weight much, much better.
Yep.
Um, all of a sudden the weight distribution goes back towards the front like it should. And I'm pointing that out because this one has that. There's three folds up in the nose of this one. There's a lot more flight to this than there would be with like the ones you guys probably built with me the other night. This one gets more distance before it does any stunting things. The stunting comes from back here, but the weight and the formation of this here is what gives it the glidability on takeoff, and this one's got a lot of it. So even if you were to play with it, your version versus what I'm doing, I mean, like I know what I've got through these avenues of exploration, but even if you guys are going to do it, that initial fold is almost enough of a start that you can play with what you're doing. Just increasing its size or decreasing its size so you can make more folds because it puts more weight up in the front. And you see, you still get the base design. You're not. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, it's still exactly the same for the most part.
yeah, yeah. You're like the cuts are kind of what's making it this shape, and the tailplane. The tailplane is going to be different because you're dealing with like a little bit different length. However, you can control how the tailplane looks each time just by how you fold the tailplane. It's
Yep.
important to fold the tailplane though because the folded tailplane gives it strength. So you can't. I mean, like you could simply cut it like you cut the trailing edge of the wing, but then they really will flap all over the place and provide almost nothing for the aircraft.
Then it would just be
Yeah,
like a bomber.
and it would be, yeah.
Because
Um,
then you if you do it that way and you almost cut off that that tail, you basically have, the bomber.
right, right, and it's
It's
the
been
thinner
staring at
they
me, so
are.
that's what I'm kind of
Well,
looking at.
the thinner they are, also, it can aid stability. As long as they're not like I don't know. Again, it's about finding a balance. If you make them too thick or you make them too thin, they're going to be at the mercy of the flight, or they're not going to provide anything to the flight. But if you find the balance to them, which we talked about last night or yesterday, it was yesterday actually. Uh, if you find a weight distribution that's just right, they can flutter with the wind in almost what we call the fly-by wind. So they'll aid in stability because they will take all of the wing turbulence that falls off the wing and flutter with it to stabilize this part of the plane.
This is so crazy. You see how that,
I've always liked boom aircraft because of that. A tailplane that actually is kind of free to float with the rest of the plane. If you've got the front end just so like it glides really good, it's got a lot of weight or whatever as it goes through, then whatever you put on its tail, if it's light enough, if it plays enough, it can take the wing turbulence and make it go away so that the plane is really, really stable. This may flutter a lot, but this won't.
yeah.
Boom aircraft is cool, people. Yes, boom aircraft is cool.
And you still haven't come up with a name.
I still haven't come up with a name yet because this thing's still in RD and T. So um, okay, I suppose it's not research anymore. I would say it's D and T. I've gone beyond the research. I knew what I wanted to do, so the design is being altered. So I can't say I'm out of the design stage quite yet. So we're in design and testing. I'm not once I finalize it, then I can say it's under testing and eval. So right now, yeah, we're still working to design.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sent you two more. Check them out real quick. I
Oh,
sent you
you
two
did.
more.
I see that.
Yeah,
I see
just to see what do you think of those two?
I
These
gotta.
two are a little more centric, so I don't know if I
Ooh.
like them as much, but they are cool.
Oh. How did you get that bottom one?
The bottom one isn't like one of ours, but it's been created and shaded, so it looks real, doesn't it? I mean, it's like it's not that it's not real. It's just
Not
a
you.
little bit of alterations. Yeah, it's kind of me, but kind of not.
That's. Oh, did you just crop your hand in there?
Yeah.
That is awesome. It took me a second. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you just crop your hand in there? Is that all that was? Because
What
like,
did you think it was?
well, because I was like, that's not a design that any of us really use. That's
No,
just a
it's not.
typical triangle airplane design that you see
Right.
on Google all the time.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I like that
Like I
concept.
said, yeah, just something else to put in there. So, I figured like I said, we're trying to keep it original here. You know what I mean? Trying to keep it original.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what you got on Ekron, sir?
What had happened was, no, what my plan was. Let me set this to the side. Let me go over here and actually
Okay.
update
We got to
the
get to.
stupid.
That's another part of what we got to do is ready is maybe somehow can you make it so that like when you like you could just click and make it like change or does it really got to be a
Yeah, I,
type?
I want to do that. I just don't know how I'm gonna get it to do that.
We got to work this. That's okay. We got to work this. That's all right, people. I said it's a work in progress. We're getting better all the time. Getting better all the time. I
Yep.
like our new intros. Yeah, we're working this stuff, man.
So we're good
And
there.
see, I like, you know what? Talking about that a little bit though, I like yours better for something like that because you've got a lot more. There's a lot more boom to your version.
Oh, to
That's why I said
this?
yours.
To
Yeah, that's
this?
why I said yours was cooler because with yours again, there's a lot more of what I was just talking
There's
about.
a lot more stress going
You
on too.
well, yeah, but
It's all pulling to this nose, and all of this is wide open. It's just it finally has like after sitting up here for a week in this fluctuating temps, you can see the. It's just like, yep. Let me
But could you
just.
imagine, like, you can imagine what you would have done with it if actually you hadn't have given it such an extreme slant. Your
Yeah,
tailplanes would be huge. So,
yeah.
but you've got like, there's a lot more open space in this section of your version. So that's what makes me anxious to see what it's like because it's like that boom that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yours probably gets more of it than mine would.
yeah, and it's also got the stir sticks in there.
And it does, yeah, right, right. Oh yeah, I know. Now that you added those, yeah. Oh man, you take that damn thing outside. Just run that into a tree. That might chop a tree.
It's close.
No.
It's close.
So yeah, what's the deal with Ekron, sir? What's
What's
going
the
on with Ekron
deal
over there
with
now?
Ekron? Well, let me get.
We, I can't imagine it's something too big because I didn't see any updates on the NASA's
It's
channel. But
not. Well, yeah, it's not really an update. It's dang it. What was I gonna do? All right, let me get the. I know what I was gonna do.
you know what you're going to do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about it um
Okay.
on
Is
here,
it-
and you guys need to check out our tech talk because I'm not actually what I'm not even gonna build it on here. I was gonna build it, um, but I'm not gonna build it on here. You guys need to go check out our our weekly show on Wednesday,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'll build it on there.
We're going to have to figure out a better. We're going to have to figure out a better day for the weekly Wednesday shows, Ed. Because
Right?
I mean, I guess it's recorded, so I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, no, don't worry about that shit. We'll discuss that as time goes on.
yeah. So go check out the weekly show. This coming Wednesday, the build will be on there for Ekron, and what I'm planning on doing to it, um, and what's going to be actually, I think I'm going to do it a little backwards this week.
Okay,
I think
you think? Huh?
I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek for Tech Talk, kind of. I mean, we already talked about it. Stir sticks.
Okay,
So I've been trying to figure out how to make, not, I've been thinking about making them stronger. The Ekron, anyways.
okay,
So
okay.
what my plan for Tech Talk this week is, so you guys need to check that out on Tuesday, um, is adding the stir sticks into, let me grab one of the bodies here, adding the stir stick into the leading edge, and then seeing how that does. But I didn't want to do it on this size. I wanted to do it on a bigger one. Um,
Oh, okay,
so this
okay,
is the standard size for Ekron, which is a 6x6. I was going to do it out of an 8x8 square. Um, so what I'll do is
so not too big, but
I'm
it's going
going
to
to
be a little bit
demonstrate the
bigger.
tech on Tech Talk,
I'm guessing on
but I'm
Tech
going to
Talk.
build the plane on the weekly show. So they're going to come out differently because of the way we record it, but you guys will see it this coming week.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
we'll do that. That's basically what I was planning on doing this week. Um, is messing around with a little bit of structure and seeing what I could get out of it, and seeing if it really makes a difference or it makes it worse. Really, I mean, you guys let us know if you try it. Make sure you comment that you tried it and whether or not it flew good for you or not, because we need to know that stuff. And put like you don't have to put like your address or anything, but just put like the state, or you can even throw the city if you want in there, but you don't have to throw that in there. Um, but you can just throw the state so we kind of get an idea of what your climate is when you build it and test it. Because we're up in Wisconsin, so it's a lot different up here than it is in Florida or Georgia or you know, Zimbabwe or wherever you're at.
Right.
So make sure you
Right.
put that in
Yeah.
there, and, if um, just so we have an idea. Like I'm not saying, give me your, zip code, your street address, your, social security number, whatever you got. I don't need all that junk. Just give me a general idea of where you're at and how it flew. And if you make it a different size, put that in there as well, because that's cool. If you make it bigger, smaller, you know.
Indeed. All right. Right. Because you'll want to know based on what they find per
Yeah,
size and stuff like that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if you do anything to it differently, say you put tape on it, all over it, like Powerhouse usually does. Like I'm pretty sure that if he builds one, I know that's what he's doing. Um, but say you put like two staples in the front and one in the middle, make a note of that and let us know because that I don't staple. Well, I don't think I have any. Well, these are all bodies, um, and all the actual. I need to get more built because the ones that I had built took on damage when I
Oh
first.
man, they got damaged.
No, 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 no. Well, those are the originals that landed on the stinking roof back in
Oh.
Florida. So those
Okay.
are all in the palace. Um, so I really don't have any. I mean, I have a couple of Ekrons that are actually built, but I don't have many because the plan was that I knew I was moving, so I wanted them to last. So they actually that like if you are planning on moving and you're still building airplanes, don't build the wings out. Just build the body of the plane and leave it, and stack them in a shoebox or something or a book. You
Amen
know,
to that, dude.
because that they travel really well. Like I didn't take any damage to any of my bodies.
Oh,
Like
really?
for the first time in forever, my body's made it, and that was not an easy move. That was
No,
that
it
was a rough
shouldn't. Yeah.
move. That was a that was a that was a big move for me. Two moving trucks and a truck with a RV on it. Yeah, that was a big move. I was not ready. I didn't think I was really ready to make that move, but we just up and did it. So
You find things out about yourself as you go through, and that's what you found.
yeah,
So hey,
and to think that it was almost a year ago. Been at the base almost a year.
that's true, isn't it? Oh my God! Wait,
Almost a year.
you been through a summer up there?
Yeah, we moved here in May.
That's true. It's me. Okay,
We got here at the end of winter.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Well,
That's why it was
we
weird that you were like.
arrived. We arrived at the end of April, but we didn't actually get into the house until May.
That's why it was kind of weird that you didn't have all the wood ready. But you thought you had the wood ready, but you
Well,
didn't have
yeah,
the wood.
because it was just a misconception.
Yeah.
Because the previous owner wanted to show us how to use the wood burner, which I appreciate because I've never used one. I don't know how to operate them. I could have figured it out, but it wasn't something that I have used before. And he wanted to take the time because he was an older gentleman, and I guess he really just wanted to meet us, um, which is odd about. I mean, it shouldn't be odd, but it is odd when you're buying a house. Normally, you don't meet the seller,
Oh
which
no.
which you should. Um, but they don't. That's like one of the most sneaky things in the world. Like they don't want you to deal with the seller.
That way they could be shysters.
Yeah, they can be shisty, and he might have been a little bit. Um, he didn't intentionally tell me that, oh, you don't have enough wood um, for the winter, but I had two and a half piles of wood, huge piles of wood, and I thought those were from the original trees that he had cut down 16 years ago. So when you tell me that, and then you basically, I'm under the interpretation that, oh, you've been burning wood in this wood burner for 16 years because you've had it. But he didn't have the wood burner the whole time in the house. He had it for about maybe 2 years. So all the wood that he had on the property that he had cut from the trees was pretty much gone, and he basically went through it in like 2 years.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I didn't know that. So, and I didn't find that out until December, and I'm already, getting into the like almost into the middle of winter,
Yeah.
and I find out, oh, he didn't have that wood burner hooked up and using the whole time. Well, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. No, I imagine it
And
would.
that
I
was
imagine it
basically when
would.
I was running out of wood, when I realized that, because I was trying to figure it out. Like, how did he make this wood last? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I was in my head thinking that I was doing something wrong. And so I was constantly trying to figure out that, trying to figure out how to get more wood. We were buying more wood, we were cutting more wood. I was doing a lot of things that I was just physically just killing myself from. And and that's how I came to the information of, oh, I need about 10 face cords, or not 10 face cords, 10 pulp cords or full cords or whatever you want to call them, of wood for the winter. That's a minimum. I'm probably going to try to get about 15, but and I may even go up more than that. I'm going to buy 10 because that's easier to do than cut
Cutting all
down.
that shit.
Yeah, I do have quite a bit of trees down that I need to actually cut up. So that's gonna be where I'm gonna buy 10, and I'm gonna have quite a few left over. I'm gonna have quite a few cords from all the trees that I'd have cut down that are gonna add into it. So that may be 5 to 10 cords right there. So I'm gonna have more wood than I need come next winter.
Nice.
I've just
Okay.
got to
Well,
get through these last like 30, 45 days.
at least until May.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, because I mean, when we first moved into the house, yeah, we turned on the heater a little bit, but the wood was lasting a while because it wasn't cold. It was in the 30s and 40s at night, and it was upper 50s, and during the day, and maybe even into the 60s
Yeah.
by then, by the beginning of May,
Yeah.
because the snow
Nice.
was gone when we got here.
Yeah, it was a mild ass winter up there.
It must have been because it was like in March, everything was covered when we saw the house on Zoom. Everything was covered. And then when we pulled up here at the end of April, like the last day of April, um, that's basically it was gone. Like, and it didn't
It was
even
gone.
like, yeah, and it like to me, it there was like no trace of snow at all, and it didn't even dawn on me that it had snow on the ground less like within the last month.
It just didn't seem right at that.
It,
Well,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah, 'cause
well, yeah,
yeah,
because I just came from 90, 95-degree weather.
right.
So in my mind, yeah, it's just cold. It's starting to get into summertime. It's just cold. But no, I didn't even realize that. Oh yeah, it probably could have had snow on the ground when I got here.
Just just a mild ass winter for up there up north there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Derry.
Yeah, there. Anywho, right
Yeah,
before we get
so
literally,
yeah, that's so this summer's gonna be fun. La, 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 la. Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna be cutting a lot, but I'm also gonna pace myself because I'm not gonna try to kill myself this summer because I don't need to. Like, yeah, I've got a lot of wood to cut, but honestly, I can pace myself because I'm not using it in the house. Like, I can just cut it, stack it, cut it, stack it, cut it, stack it, and
Yeah.
then when I want to
Yeah.
take a break, I can take a break.
And so you shall. Right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've got trees that are cut down that I've got to go get cut up, and I'm just gonna take it one section at a time. Well, yeah, because I
That's
mean,
all you can do.
well, yeah, that's all I can do. And the thing is with that, um, is that like I've got a big pile of brush and limbs and all the stuff that was cut off the trees that's just in a big pile in the backyard, which still has some good sized limbs on it, which are like small trees basically from these
Yeah.
oak trees. So I've still got to go through all that, plus all the 8 foot logs that are left in the back and in the front, like and the 5 trees that he cut down that I didn't have him chop up. So like I've got to go cut those up, and those are the ones that are going to take me a little while because I'm going to cut them up, and I'm just going to instead of cutting them up in big sections, I'm just going to cut them up in little sections and actually just process it as I cut it. So if I get to a limb, I'm going to cut the limb off and I'm going to process the whole limb and not have a pile of brush left over.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, it's going to take me a little bit, but I don't, because I'm not doing it as a business, so I don't want to deal with all that pile of brush that's back there. Like later on, I don't want to have like 2 or 3 piles of brush that I've got to go deal with after I cut up all these logs. I want to get through them and get it cleared out and get it done. And that way, hopefully, I can start getting it stacked and drying out a little bit. I don't really need it to dry out a whole lot because I still want it green to put in this burner so it lasts longer. Because I've
Same. Yeah.
yeah, because I've noticed the green wood is lasting a lot longer than the dry stuff, than the really dry stuff. But I just filled up, and that's why I was running a little bit late too, is because I was filling up the burner. I was out there getting the fire going, making sure the fire was nice and hot and going, and so I don't have to leave during the middle of the show.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. So we know we got you. All right. That's cool.
yeah. So, but that's my updates in a nutshell.
Somewhere along there, people we were talking about, yeah, how he was going with
Ekron.
Ekron. We got into that, but yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make my own stir sticks. That's what I'm gonna do. Make my own stir sticks with all the wood that I'm cutting. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Make your own, and paper though, right? You got to make your own
Oh, I
paper.
can. I mean, we did have some birch, um, which I keep forgetting to bring up those pieces of wood to show you that nice birch that I. But I've got it down there. It's nice and dried out. It's looking
Oh,
pretty.
drying out is one thing. Aging is another because usually you like them to be aged a little bit too. So
Yeah, it's not. It's still baby. It looks nice though. That little sliver of birch that I got. I do have more trees that I got to cut out anyway, so we'll see. And that's the other thing is I still have trees that I'm cutting down this, come this, um, like basically like May, June time frame. I'm gonna be cutting trees down anyways.
yeah,
So I have more trees that I'm going to be cutting down on top of the trees that I already have down, plus the 10 cords that we're buying. So I'm gonna have enough this coming winter. I will not go without. I will not be out there killing myself again. I'm just gonna have probably about 4 or 5 huge stacks of wood. And when I say huge, I mean they're probably gonna be like 8 feet tall, and they're gonna probably be about 20, 30 feet long. So they're bigger than normal stacks that
You better
people.
be, yeah, you better be basically ready. You know, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and cause me, I don't need it. I don't need it pretty, like all stacked nice and neat and pretty. I'm not. It's not a display for me. And I see some people that they take the time to make it all nice and neat and all that other stuff. I just need it to function. So,
He needs his wood, people. He needs his freaking wood.
so yeah, part of it is gonna suck, getting to it because it's gonna be buried in snow at some point in the season.
Well, yeah, if
But
it's 8 feet tall, you might have a chance of getting to the top of
well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like I plan on burying the bottom of it. The bottom of it's gonna get buried in snow and ice, but I'll be able to get to it and get to the top of it. So the bottom 2 feet of it may be frozen, but I can dig it out if I need to. I mean,
I
because
like it.
that's gonna be the plan. Is like I'm just gonna. I may even cover it. I may even cover it a little bit. I don't know. We shall see.
We shall see. Okay, fair enough. All right, cool, cool, cool.
But yeah, I may post updates on my channel as well. I never know. I may be out there bored and not flying and cutting wood, and who
Okay,
knows
that's gonna
what's
be a little.
coming.
That's gonna be a little strange to get updates about the dude cutting the wood out there. You know, I mean, like of all the things we could get, that's what we get.
Yeah. Hey, what's coming up next week? Lumberjack.
Wood cutting,
Yeah.
lumber, lumberjack in it. All right, hey, whatever, whatever.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We did get somebody else. That somebody I don't know who Miley Carrolley is. Thanks for stopping by.
Every little bit, people. Every little bit. Hey, that was cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was all about wood, people. It was all about wood. That's all it ever is about wood.
That's all my life consists of right now is wood.
One way or another, stir sticks, pit planes, freeze. One way or another, his
Trees.
life
I'm
is
starting at the
wood.
source. I'm starting at the source.
He's trying to be as environmentally sound as he can be.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I may be able to make some paper out of it. Who knows? I may get a sawmill and who knows?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind some paper, but I'm just waiting on a camera, my friend.
I I don't even know if these things work. I plugged in a couple of them. They don't even seem to work.
What? How did you get all of them and don't have none of them
Man,
work?
you know it's like cheap stuff that they don't even. It's just cheap stuff, man.
I know. I
And
got
and
it.
those
Yeah.
and those people just bang them around and they don't take care of them. But yeah, all the ones that were down here on the floor that I tested, like I finally tested them, and that's one, two, three. Is that three or four? Four. Yeah, those don't work.
Well, damn it. I
So
was looking forward to
yeah,
like
I don't
something,
I
man.
don't have I don't think I think I have two more. Yeah, I've got yeah two more up here. And the only one that did work was the nice one that I acquired
That's the
so
only one
far.
that worked.
That's the only one that's worked so far. Was the nice one that I acquired. Because
Well,
this one is one of mine that I had,
yeah, yeah, I remember that. Okay,
and
yeah.
then the other one that I have is was the nicer one.
Well, you need to acquire a couple more that damn
Well,
that actually.
I'm not even at the
I know that. I know that.
I can't just acquire them. I'm not there anymore. Kind of stinks because I could if I was there.
It was so cool
It
at the
was
time.
convenient. I was like, oh, well, this is great. Let's just keep going. But yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't plan on them not working. So that means these people were lying about doing conference calls with the video camera, or they were using. Yeah, no, they had desktops. So they must have been lying, or they bought one of their own because whatever.
cheesing out, bro. They were cheesing out. They were
Yeah,
cheaping it out on you, man.
yeah. I mean, because yeah, this one is cheap, so it is what it is. But I need a new
Which is
GPU for my other PC. Hopefully, thankfully, this one's still running strong.
not using it up, not burning it out. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, thankfully, this one's still running strong. But my other one has crapped out on me in my Linux machine.
Man, you have the worst luck considering you actually got better at this shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I got it hooked up. I updated it. I had it working. Then the CPU fan went out on it. I had an extra one of those and replaced it. All good. Like a day later, uh, the GPU was getting no signal, so I plugged it into another slot. It still wasn't getting any signal. Fans were on, but it wasn't getting no signal. I took it apart, redid the thermal paste because it was older. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just overheating because it's not dissipating the heat properly. So I cleaned it up, redid it, and it still made sure and that's why I was asking you about the drivers. Because I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, well, maybe the drivers were the issue. I went and grabbed my other one from this machine, plugged it in, it worked.
That actually did work, really?
Yeah, this one works. I updated the drivers for my other one, plugged it back in, it still doesn't work. So the GPU is just crapped out. So
Damn.
I know the GPU is pretty much dead. It's getting power because the fans are coming on, but I don't know if it's just like it doesn't look like it's I don't know. It's just weird because it doesn't look damaged, and it doesn't have any of the what are those things called? What are those stupid things called?
What, transistors, capacitors? What?
Yeah, the capacitors. Yeah, none of those are
Uh,
popped on it. That from what I can tell, they don't look bulged or popped or anything like that. Because I'm not gonna go waste my time trying to resolder one on there. So I'm not that good. I could probably do it, but I'm not. I'm not gonna risk it. But
don't want
they
to take
don't.
the time.
But they don't. But they don't look damaged or anything.
Nothing fried, nothing, anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, and it
okay.
doesn't smell. It doesn't smell like it's burnt or anything like that. So I have no clue why it's just not working on that. And I know it. And I had that problem because it wasn't working in this PC, and so I took it out and I put
Huh.
this one
All
in.
right.
because
Huh. All right. All right.
this one's not as updated. I say updated as advanced of a graphics card as the other one that I had. So the good one that I had actually is the one that's causing the problems and went out. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, you know, you guys have heard us rant for about an hour. So almost looks like it's almost 45 minutes on the stream. So
We did good. We give you. It's always something, man.
always
It's always
something.
something more.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have to probably fork out some money on a new GPU on that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, people. Like I said, make sure you comment on whether or not you build it and what you build, and or even if you're working on something else, and just let us know what you're working on.
Yeah, it's nice to know you working and flying, especially because we can't.
Yeah, we stuck in the 2 feet of snow up here. So yeah, take it easy, people. Thanks for stopping by.
Y'all have a good day out
Yeah,
there.
weren't we gonna work on an outro for this show?
Yeah, why? What? Wait, what? What? You thought about that now?
Yeah, it's a little late, but